So yeah, I backed out further and further because there was just, it really seemed like this pro black movement was just turning into this movement for straight cisgender black men. It wasn't about the black community as a whole. It was just about trying to solve problems for black men in general, or just for straight black men. That's what it was. Okay, I started looking at this. The more and more I started feeling this, and the more and more I started seeing that that's what it was, I was like, you know what, it's funny. I wonder if all the problems for black men, if they were to go away like the next day, they probably wouldn't come back to help anyone else in the black community. Not all, of course, not all, but a lot of you like dusty hoteps who are really just mad that you're still at the bottom of every single totem pole, not below black women and the black LGBTQ, but let's just be real. You're just mad that you're at the bottom because that's just what it is. And this is not about the real black alpha males. This is about these beta males on the internet, people who agree with Umar, people who agree with these Ankh Negroes online when they talk shit about white folks and the black women feminists or womanists. I don't consider myself a feminist. I say womanist. And the black LGBTQ who has your back, believe it or not, more than anyone. This is for these beta males who try to pass themselves off as alpha males because, you know, they're just really pissed. They're just riled on emotion. One thing about beta males is that they rile on emotion. Alpha males actually ride on action. And that's another reason why I had to back out, because it seemed like it's just a bunch of talking points with this conscious community woke movement. It was just these talking points. There was no real action. There were threats about action. There were claims about action, like, you know, Umar trying to build a school and we still haven't gotten a school. So there were just these claims about action. People said, here's what we should do. Here's what we need to do. This is why you got to do this. Okay, well, are you doing it? And this is one of the reasons why some of you guys are just these broke dusties. You're just broke, dusty hoteps, foteps, and noteps on the internet just talking about how much you hate white folks, how much you hate white supremacy, how much you hate, you know, everyone. And this is why you have so many of them that are angry. Although they swirl all day, they get angry when the more marginalized black people come up in any way, shape, or form, or even date interracially. But you know what it is? That's another video for another day, and I'm just gonna leave that there. But it's like you're saying, oh, look, only black women and the black LGBTQ, only gay people, it's a gay agenda. So the only reason you can be successful now is if you're gay. And it's not just because they are gay, they are being successful. Yeah, LGBTQs in general are getting more respect. They are, you know, coming on up. They are being respected. People lose their jobs if they say anything slightly homophobic, okay? I really do think that there was a walking on eggshells when it comes to that community, when it comes to the community. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean life is all good just because they finally got their same-sex marriage rights. That doesn't mean anything's all good, okay? You still have LGBT and black LGBTQ folks talking about the problems they're facing. So let's just be real. Not all their problems got solved, all right? All right? You keep saying, oh my God, there's this gay agenda, and the reason that the LGBTQ and this feminist agenda, the reason that the LGBTQ and black women are winning now and, you know, coming on up now. No, part of the reason is we're actually putting in that work. We're not being all talk over the internet. We're actually starting businesses. Black women are a very fast growing entrepreneurial group. We're just doing our thing. We're actually putting in work. We're putting our best foot forward. We're actually doing it. Super Sen said it. You can make a million excuses or you can make $1 million. And a lot of you guys just want to point fingers. You broke dusties over the internet. All you want to do is point fingers and blame, because it's much easier to do that, to point fingers and blame, than to actually get up off your ass and do some work. Okay? So, and then you hate the term, oh, you black people are lazy, but some of you guys are actually lazy. And this is why you really like to let black women and the black LGBTQ do all the work, and you just support them from afar. Not all, because like I said, I'm not saying no black man is putting in work, but a lot of you broke, dusty, hotep, fotep, and noteps on the internet, we can tell, like, you're just a bunch of lazy bums. Another reason I backed out was because the environment just became too negative. It's as I felt like it got to the point where I felt like I needed to walk on eggshells when criticizing or at least telling some truths about the problems black folks had, okay? Actually was now being attacked. And I'm saying, hey, I'm still on your side here. When did this turn into against me? And I find myself nowadays in a way criticizing black folks than I am criticizing white folks. Again, not that I'm not going to criticize them at all, but it's just like nowadays I'm saying, okay, what started off as something good, it looks like we're going backwards, okay? It looks like we're now turning into these people that are criticizing each other. But here's the thing, criticism is necessary, and it needs to be said. Like, black folks, we cannot keep sugarcoating our BS because we are suffering from racism, white supremacy. We do not get free passes like that, okay? I'm sorry, if we're on some F-ish, and I think you know what I'm trying to say. If we're on some F-ish, then, you know, we need to be called out and held accountable. I definitely saw it with the R. Kelly situation. Some of you guys were trying to go, even some black women, some of you black women who are stupid enough to fall for this, okay? You man-stroking R. Kelly because you don't want to stop listening to your favorite songs, and because you don't want to be guilt-tripped into listening to your favorite songs. So you are saying, oh, the victims are the problem, this woman lied. And of course, if there's validity in some of the women exaggerating or making up their stories, that should be called out. However, we shouldn't be giving free passes to the black man because we solely want to, you know, coddle, man-stroke the black man, okay? Be Wakandan warrior for the black man, okay? People are not above accountability, okay? I think that's because we're dealing with so many issues with racism, white supremacy, we kind of give free passes to certain people, especially when we like them. Notice that? When black people like someone, we give them 1,000,010 free passes. Like, Mark Twain said it best. It's easy to fool someone than to convince them they have been fooled. And I saw that so much now. And I just said, man, you guys are a damn disgrace, man. Where is all this woke talk? Where is all this actually being, you know, eye-opening and just conscious and everything? And of course, the environment turned negative. It turns negative into two different ways. So one, you had people that were just constantly, I felt like I had to walk on eggshells with. I felt like I can't say anything even slightly wrong because they would take it as something offensive when really it never intended to be, okay? Or two, these Ankh Negroes found so many things negative to say about everything. When black people feel like they gotta win, like for instance, Black Panther, okay? We finally get a movie about a non-colonized civilization in Africa, Wakanda. It's great representation for black people and black you know, for the roots of like black people. You know what I'm saying? It was a good representational movie of Africa, a very technologically advanced civilization in Africa that wasn't colonized. It was like a dream. It would be kind of like a dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? We would want a Wakanda here on earth, right? But, you know, you have these hostile hoteps. You have these hotep, fotep, and noteps just basically going back and forth talking about, oh, we made that movie a lot of money and the white man's taking it. I'm like, you go so deep into things, and yes, we need to dig deep, but like when you go so damn deep wherever you find a problem within everything, and of course, like I said, we need to dig deep. We shouldn't just scratch the surface and leave it there, okay? When it comes to issues especially of like cultural appropriation and self-hate and stuff, we should talk about that. But it's like when black people find something good or what we think is good, you always have other black people trying to say, oh no, don't be fooled. And that's true. Like, we should not be fooled into thinking that everything is a win, but like certain things we should enjoy. We have the right to be happy, okay? We have the right to enjoy stuff. We have the right to experience good things, because like I said, I have a life to live. We have a life to live. We should not deprive ourselves from joy because we always want to find a problem in something. It seems like we're always digging and searching for problems, and it's like, do we just love negativity? Like, can nothing good ever happen to us? Like, this is why I had to back out, because this movement, some of the people in the movement that are now being like, or trying to be the face or the voice for the movement, they're just too toxic. They're just too negative. Everything is a problem. Like, everything is connected to white supremacy. We can't even breathe without them trying to find something negative to say about something. They did that with Black Panther, okay? It was a great movie. Loved it, even though I never read the comics, because with Marvel and DC, I only keep up with the TV shows and the comics, the TV shows. I only keep up with the TV shows and the movies, not the comics. I'm sorry. I know the comics go into more depth, but, you know. But anyway, yeah, they just found something negative to say. It's like, come on, we deserve to enjoy something without always having a negative afterthought about it. And I get it. Yes, we shouldn't keep our guards down, because that's what they like to do. That's what they like to do a lot in politics. Pander to us with something good, like this candidate now saying she wants $100 billion for Black reparations. I don't even believe that's going to happen. And even if she were to try to put in work to get that, it will take a while, probably even after her presidency. And then, of course, here you have all these Black conspiracy theories saying, see, she only did that to get in office. Even if she was trying to work at it, she only did that to get in office. So, you know, she wanted the Black vote. And I kind of believe that. I'm not don't think just because I find what they say very, very negative that I don't always heed the word, because they could be right. But here's the thing. Stop being so damn negative. Like, man, your lack of positivity in the Black community when it comes to these issues. I'm starting to see a lot more pessimism within the Black community when it comes to these issues. It's like all we want to do is talk, whine, bitch, complain, yell, scream, be angry, instead of actually working towards something. It's like we're not even happy. And the things we are being happy about, or, you know, showing our attention to, they're really doing nothing for us. Let's just be honest. It really doesn't give us any personal gain. So I'm saying all that energy you take into talking about these racial issues, you could really be taking it into reading some books about investing, finance, listening to some videos, starting your own businesses, working on your brands. And this is one of the reasons Black women and the Black LGBTQ are winning, because they are putting more energy into focusing on their brand. Trust me, they will always talk about racial issues. We talk more about racial issues than almost anyone else. And we're doing it without pointing fingers. And we're doing it without necessarily pointing fingers and solely pointing fingers. Like, everybody can get some. Everybody's being held accountable here, okay? Madame Noir gets a lot of backlash from certain people, Black men, who fail to realize that we're not bashing you like the white society is. We're just holding you accountable where you need to be held accountable, okay? Not everyone is a Black man hater just because we're holding you accountable because of our negative experiences, okay? We're not doing that. Or at least I never try to generalize, okay? Or at least I don't, all right? But I'm saying this. If you do not want to hear this criticism coming from people outside of your community, Black men, Black women, Black LGBTQ, then hear it from someone coming within your community, okay? I would rather hear criticism about Black women from Black women, whether I agree with it or not, than hearing it from a Black man. Because what do you know about being a Black woman? And if you do not want to hear yourself being held accountable by Black women and Black LGBTQs Black men, hear it from other Black men. Another reason why I left was because, man, it just got to the point where I just was emotionally drained, and I just decided to throw in the towel and just say, you know what, this is not working for me. I'm not going to be all the way out. I'm still going to talk about these issues as they affect me, definitely. I'm not going to ignore them because I haven't felt firsthand exactly, or at least in the term of overt racism excessively, like people, especially those who grew down south. I hear it a lot. Hey, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in Arlington, Virginia. I grew up in here and here, and I'm from New York. So if it was there, it's really in the form of macroaggressions that can easily be dismissed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand what they may be feeling, because a lot of them who go hard have really experienced the overtness of it. And of course, I may have never experienced the overtness of it, but I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, because we see it clear as day. We see it in the covertness. We saw it, okay? I am not going to sit here and say it doesn't exist and it's all in people's heads, and because I've never experienced it, that means someone else hasn't, okay? I'm not going to do that. But what I will say is this: I am not going to dwell on it so much. I am still working on that. I found myself dwelling on it so much that it affected my thought process. it's like every morning I would wake up and the thought of it would come to my mind. And you know what I'm saying? It would come to my mind and I would apply it to everything I did, every action, every step I took, every person I interacted with, everything I saw on TV. Like, I would always apply it. There was nothing, I couldn't say this is just a normal thing happening. It was always either a black or white or against a black issue. It was always that. And I think this is why people now do it. One of the reasons I backed out was because, trust me, like I said, there were many reasons I backed out. And I'll keep telling you one of the reasons each time, okay? One of the reasons I backed out was because I saw how it was being used to rile up black folks. You know, now you have people posting fake stories, fake news, fake things that will just jump on emotion and believe instead of looking at the facts now, okay? Because it's so easy to get a rise out of black folks and a rise out of people who are marginalized and to go viral. Especially you see white folks doing that right now. They're trying to get a rise out of people because, you know what? It makes them go viral. It gives them attention, things like that. Jackie Aina pointed this out. They said, yeah, the reason they're really doing it, all these Russians and Polish people doing blackface on the makeup claiming they did not know, is like they know they're trying to go viral because, and that's the thing. It's like, black folks, this is one of the reasons I got pissed about all this attention I was getting for my Umar Johnson videos and not my makeup tutorials. And I came back to say, hey, I did not make these videos for the sake of likes, views, clicks, you know, comments and all that stuff. Like, I'm glad that people did pay attention to it, but at the same time, I want you to keep the focus on the brand that I'm really trying to work on, which is like a beauty and makeup brand. And I also have a business on the side, okay? If you want to find out about that, okay, sure, ask me. But what I'm saying is this: when I'm doing something positive, when I'm doing something normal, when I'm doing something fun, why does that not get as many overnight attention and clicks and views and comments? But when I was talking about Umar and everybody wanted to go back and forth and everybody either thought it was positive or negative and everybody had something to say, that got so many views overnight, and in a week I was shocked. I was like, seriously? I'm putting out these makeup tutorials and you can't give me that same energy? You can't keep that energy consistent? A lot of you watched one video and subscribed to me. I have almost or over 200 subscribers. I mean, look, I'm grateful for it, but at the same time, I'm just looking at it like, come on, if you're going to subscribe to me, just make sure you keep that same energy. Be consistent, okay? Okay? Pay attention to the makeup and the beauty and things like that, okay? And this was never to go viral. This was never to gain some clout, okay? Because I was doing these makeup videos way before I started making Umar Johnson videos, okay? I was just making those videos for the sake of a former supporter getting something off her chest. And now that I've gotten this off my chest, I barely think about it anymore. And it was great to see different people's opinions, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this is not a negativity platform. Not like other people who have a whole page dedicated to exposing Umar, okay? That's what they choose to do, but what I chose to do was just make a video about what I was feeling and a former supporter's point of view. That's what it was. I even had to come back in another video and say, hey, let's be clear about this. Let's be clear, all right? This channel is not an exposing page, not a bashing page, not a anti-Umar page. No, it's just a former supporter getting all her thoughts out from start to finish and just leaving it there, never having to come back at it at all. I would hope not to come back to this at all. But I just say, you guys watch 1, 2, 3 videos and then you subscribe to me, but I'm saying I still don't get that same energy and same love from you when I make the makeup tutorials. And of course, it may not really be your thing, okay, but I'm telling you, if you expect this page to be about bashing this man or people like him, no, this is just me giving my opinion and telling you how I feel, okay? That's what it is. It's not anything that serious. It's not anti-Afro Svengalis, Latin honors, Black Anonymous. It's not any of that. It's a makeup beauty page, and occasionally I will come back and give my opinions on certain things that I am feeling. All right? So yeah, okay, that's another thing too. It's like it's turned us into a bunch of mindless zombies, this woke movement. We're just so quick to act on emotion. There was no strategy, there was no thinking, there was no critical thinking, and I just had to back out. And that's one of the things about being neutral that's made me do. I've seen truths on every single side, and I'm saying that's one of the things being neutral has done for me. Yeah, it's kind of exhausting because it's like you're really trying to see the truth and, you know, not offend anyone, okay? But at the same time, it's like it really has made me think critically, okay? And it seems like a lot of people are either putting out fake news and, you know, emotional news that riles us up, and we can't think critically. But I don't know, man. Yeah, so that's all I have to say for now, at least. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.